I'll give Dubois a shot in that fight. It's a good time. I mean, a little bit of inactivity because of the fight falling through against Joseph Parker, but you know, it's exciting, and I think definitely a fight.
Daniel Dubois against Oleksandr Usyk. Realistically, has he got any chance? We've got 30 seconds.
Of course he has. Look, it's a tough ask, of course. You know, the thing with Usyk is he doesn't depend on his power to knock you out. He depends on his skill. That's why it's a tough ask, because he's going to box rings around you if you let him. Dubois, good luck. Don Charles, good luck. Great British boxing, good luck. We potentially might have a heavyweight championship back on our soil.
Life's a risk. You could walk outside, get run over, anything can happen, but in this sport, I'm prepared for this risk. This is a risk that I know that I've been training from since I was, what, 5 or 7 years old.
Bit of advice you give to Dubois against Usyk?
Okay, knock him out. Because I wouldn't say that, because it's in England and you know it's on his own show, so just do the best you can, that's it.
Do we have a definition of legal and illegal? Belly button is the line. Anything below that is a low blow. If you're hitting the pants, the blow is not legal.
These guys are begging now for the pay because they know who the king is.
That's right.
And these guys need him. He doesn't need them. Oleksandr Usyk can choose to fight whoever he wants. He is now the draw in the heavyweight division. He is the big name.
I think Usyk again, it's a tough fight. That Usyk guy is talented. He's so talented. He's so small for a heavyweight too. He's non-stop movement and his footwork and everything. It's so different than anybody else. Joshua didn't know what to do with him. He's like, where is this guy going to be when I'm throwing punches? He's a heavyweight, and the heavyweights were never really that good. Dubois is coming into his own, man. That's what that is. He's only like 27, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's coming into it. That guy's scary. He's dangerous.
I do believe in Daniel Dubois as a fighter, that he's got what it takes to be successful against Oleksandr Usyk, but we have to.
Well, now though. Yeah, no, I do think he's massively improved. I think he came of age against AJ.
Personality-wise, he's looking a bit more.
I just think, you know, against Jarrell Miller, he's shown he can come through tough moments.
True.
Jarrell Miller wasn't active enough, and Jarrell Miller doesn't punch hard enough. He'll come across a completely different skill set than Oleksandr Usyk. You got to remember, he's been in there with him already, and we all know what happened.
But I don't know. I just love the way Usyk boxes. His ring IQ. He knows his way around that ring, and I just feel like he'll be too smart and too slick for Dubois.
For Great Britain, it's not an easy task. But he's definitely the man that can go through with it. He's done the work, he's gone through the pedigree, and he's a certified champion. So, you know, I think, he has big hopes on doing it. He's going to do it.
Is a chance for Daniel Dubois to go down in British sporting folklore and to go and do the business, reverse that result.
27, being a heavyweight, being the champion of the world now, and he's on his way up. Where Usyk is in his 37 is in a top position now. Yeah, so there is no other.
I think Daniel Dubois, he's on a roll. He's coming off of a massive win against AJ. Usyk's also on a massive roll. So I think that fight's going to come down to mindset.
Dubois now is a different machine.
Self-confidence will be...
And time waits for no man, as the saying goes. I just think that this is a fight it's exciting. It's a good fight. You've got to make Usyk the favourite, but it's a fight that Daniel Dubois can definitely win. I don't think Usyk should be.
Unbelievable, yeah. He was scary. But I do think now, this is caught up now as well.
Right.
So I think he's going to be a dangerous man against Usyk this time.
Oleksandr Usyk is the consummate professional. All right? He's not going to be easy. I don't care how you come at him. He's a consummate professional. He's unique in that he'll bring the fight to you 1 minute, and then the next minute, he's moving and grooving. It's hard to catch up to.
This guy's a beast. He's a good fighter. He's a hard fighter to beat. And I think he'll learn from the mistakes he made in the first fight against Usyk, and it will give him a hard fight. Look, he has the tools.
I kind of figured that one out. But at the end of the day,
The whole turning point was after the 5th. It was the 6th round. He did what winners do. He said, a winner never lets you get momentum, does he? No, a winner's not going to let you.
Usyk is a class act, a mature individual because he's older and wiser, comes from a completely different background. But Daniel Dubois is growing into himself. This will be one hell of a fight. This will be a proper fight, like all of the Usyk fights have been.
Problem. Oleksandr Usyk is the best fighter in boxing, period. Of this generation, what he's done at cruiserweight, what he's done at heavyweight, what he's done to all the other British fighters, to do the double over AJ, the double over...
Daniel's a heavy puncher. Both hands carries dynamite. And it's just going to be a case of picking his moments, believing in his work, and there are 3 or 4 fundamental things that he must do. And if he does them, he'll have success.
Especially in Usyk press conference, he's not going to start flipping tables and kicking off and this, that and the other. He's going to play a few little games and mind games and that. But aside from that, pretty chill and relaxed.
Oh, 100%. Daniel Dubois is, like I say, Daniel Dubois is a machine. And I'd back Daniel Dubois. If he was fighting anybody else other than Oleksandr Usyk, I'd back him to win.
Right now, I believe Usyk has more fans in UK than any of the other UK fighter. And I think Wembley was the very good choice to do it.
I feel he knows, and he's grown in confidence since that. I mean, he's in a great place, Dubois, and he can win that fight. He's a big natural heavyweight.
At the same time, Daniel Dubois just went into the Lion's Den and went 9 rounds. I see him get a lot of criticism. This is a young guy with not a lot of experience, boxing experience.
Dubois is certainly a much more dangerous fighter than he was. So he does have a chance to win the fight, but in saying that, I've backed against Usyk a couple of times, and specifically the Fury.
Good fight. Where Dubois is now, he's very confident, very bullish. But Usyk's older, he's had more wear and tear. The fights with Fury have taken a lot out of him. Don't underestimate that. But Usyk's he's a different animal. And ultimately, you got to remember, take away that one shot, whether you thought it was low or not, that one bit of drama.
Now is a different machine.
Self-confidence will be...
And time waits for no man, as the saying goes. I just think that this is a fight that's exciting. It's a good fight. You've got to make Usyk the favourite, but it's a fight that Daniel Dubois can definitely win. I don't think.
The belief he's going to have in himself at this moment in time is going to be through the roof. So maybe he's getting Usyk at the right time. You know, if I was a betting man, I wouldn't bet against Usyk, but I would not be surprised if Dubois pulls it off.
Men, Oleksandr Usyk is an aging champion that's at the end of his career. So why would it mean anything now for you to leave Alex Usyk now?
I think, you know, the trainer says to the other fighter and says, you're a cheat and you're not a God-fearing man and you're a liar. And, you know, I think this is just, you know, absolutely insane.
Was a hell of a fighter, a gold medalist, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but he was behind the scenes. 2 guys with a crazy amateur backgrounds, and one.
Usyk, it seems he's smaller, but he seems quicker and faster. You know, he throws good combinations as well. I don't know as far as who wins. I always say, man, may the best man win. But hopefully those guys get in the ring healthy and they get out of the ring healthy and give the world a great fight. It's good to see unification in the heavyweight division. You know, that hasn't happened in a long time.
It's hard enough. He'll come across a completely different skill set than Oleksandr Usyk. You got to remember he's been in there with him already, and we all know what happened last time.
Yes, true.
I don't want to hear this stuff about low blows. It's called a protector for a reason. If you hit a protector, guess what?
If he's a true religious man, he should come out publicly. I'll have more respect for him if he come out publicly and say the truth. I cheated. There's no different from him to a drugs cheat. He cheated. He knows it.
Because the referee ruled it was a low blow. So it's up to the referee to rule that. We don't know where he ruled the line in the dressing room.
At the rules meeting,
the referee has said he ruled that a low blow. I don't know why he didn't take a point off though, that was odd. Or even 2, because he was warned about...
When I fight Usyk in December and beat him, I'll reign all the belts that I should never have lost, and then I'll fight the Dubois and take that...
Really too much difference. I haven't really seen too much difference. I think maybe he's just more confident in the ring, maybe, with the opponents.
You know, we know he can punch. We know he's got a good jab. So it might just be a matter of, like I said, confidence in himself. I don't think he's changed.
So we'll fight the winner between Usyk and Daniel Dubois.
Who do you think wins that fight?
Usyk wins that fight for sure. But anything can happen. This is boxing.
Relaxed, and he believes in himself, you know, and that's why he's talking the way that he's talking right now. He's a different proposition to the one that was boxing Oleksandr Usyk a couple of years ago, and he goes not just physically, not just mentally. He totally believes in himself.
Rattled. I've never seen him respond to something like that. It seemed out of character.
It's a bit strange, you know, like the push, you know, but.
Well, the slow motion.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But Usyk, who knows?
You've got this narrative now that Dubois is a different guy, so this rematch will be different. Also, you have the fact that Usyk, in the ring after his win over Tyson Fury, Dubois came into the ring, challenged him, and Usyk said, Your Excellency, Turkey.
I think it's a perfect timing. You know, they're both on top with great wins. You know, Usyk obviously pound for pound the best fighter in the world. I think it's a great challenge. You know, the first one was a little controversial. There was a little bit of controversy with the body shot and stuff like that that, you know, we all disputed, and everybody has a different opinion. I think it's going to be a very competitive fight. I think Dubois is in a great moment right now. I think Dubois is a big guy. He's going to go out there and put pressure and try to dominate with his.
He's swelling out and just starting to close a bit.
I'm going to put him to sleep properly this time. I want to nail him to the canvas.
So categorically, Oleksandr Usyk, who's a great fighter, cannot take this version of Daniel Dubois' speed and power.
No way. No way. This time it's going to be proper war. Give you guys a bloodbath and, you know, just tear him up.
The punch landed on the belt line, and if you look at Usyk's belt line, you can see his belly button just sort of steering out the top of his belt line. You land a shot on here, this is a good shot, it's a body shot. The referee didn't do that. Bottom part of the glove was on the actual shorts on his scrotum area, really quite low, too low really. So it was a legitimate low blow.
Every time. I don't know who you talk to, punch like both and Usyk. Listen, you boxer, you're not fighter MMA. You boxer, Daniel, world champion. Hey, guy.
Come on.
Smile.
Come on.
And the
Come
point
on.
is, that groin protector, like the groin protector, if you push that and hit that, it all moves. So you don't have to punch right on it to pressure it.
Yeah, bro. Now is like a story.
Yeah.
It was in the past.
Yeah.
We have now new fight. We have today, present, now. Future, I don't.
Daniel is now believe in himself, and the success has made him more confident, have more self-belief, have more faith in what he's capable of doing. I think he was like a learning driver the first time. Has proven time and time again, if he's boxed you once, he actually finds it easier the second time. And the difference between this fight and their last fight is Daniel is now believe in himself, and the success has made him more confident, have more self-belief, have more faith in what he's capable of doing. I think he was like a learning driver the first time he boxed. But the problem is with Usyk, if you fight Usyk once, he's very...
Kevin Lena breaks it down with raw honesty. This is as close to a 50-50 fight as it gets. On one side, you have Daniel Dubois, a physically gifted heavyweight with serious knockout power, a stiff jab, and the kind of self-belief that's at an all-time high. He's not just a puncher, he's a threat, especially in the early rounds. Dubois is explosive, aggressive, and confident that he can shake up the heavyweight scene with one well-timed bomb. On the other side stands Oleksandr Usyk, a boxing wizard with a resume that speaks for itself. Undisputed at cruiserweight, undefeated in the pros, and the man who outboxed Anthony Joshua twice. Usyk is widely regarded as one of the most technical fighters of his generation. His movement...
It's a 50-50 fight, and you might hear that a lot, people saying it's a 50-50. Well, one's an extremely powerful concussive puncher. He's got a relatively good jab, and I think he's on his confidence is on at an all-time high. And one's a magician in there, probably one of the greatest boxers, technicians of our era. Look, I mean, if Daniel can't hurt Oleksandr within the first 6 to 8 rounds, I think Usyk wins convincingly. But having said that, I think Daniel will be very dangerous for the first half of the fight. I truly believe that. And not to say Daniel will fade, but I think Usyk becomes harder to fight once he finds
Timing, ring IQ, and ability to adjust mid-fight are unmatched in today's heavyweight division. Kevin believes that this fight comes down to timing. If Dubois doesn't hurt Usyk within the first 6 to 8 rounds, the Ukrainian maestro will likely take over and dominate the second half, winning clearly on the cards or even scoring a late stoppage. But Kevin's not writing Dubois off, and neither should anyone else. Dubois brings real danger. His power is a great equalizer, the kind of danger that can instantly flip a fight on its head. That's why Kevin isn't leaning either way. He sees this bout as sitting on a razor's edge. It could swing in any direction, depending on how the early rounds unfold. Tony Bellew, however, is far less diplomatic. He doesn't see this as a toss-up at all. In his eyes, Daniel Dubois hasn't shown anything to suggest he can beat someone like Oleksandr Usyk. Bellew points to the facts. Usyk has already
for anybody because he can hit you, he can hurt you, and he's got a very nice authoritative jab. A lot of people have asked me what it was like to fight Daniel. I said I found he had one of the best jabs I've ever fought. So Usyk needs to take that jab away and utilize
tamed giants, men with more experience, more precision, and better resumes than Dubois. Usyk outclassed Anthony Joshua, who is widely considered a far more complete fighter than Dubois. Bellew's argument is that if Usyk has handled that kind of danger, why would Dubois be the one to solve the puzzle? According to Bellew, the gap in experience, adaptability, and ring IQ is simply too wide. Usyk has been in deep waters against elite-level opponents and has always found a way to win. Dubois, on the other hand, is still trying to prove he belongs in that upper echelon. Bellew won't completely rule out the possibility of an upset. Anything can happen in boxing, but he makes it clear that if Dubois wins, it would be a monumental shock. Unless Dubois reveals something we've never seen before, Bellew's prediction leans heavily toward a dominant Usyk victory. And to be honest, most of the boxing world seems to share that view. Joseph Parker takes a more balanced approach. Always respectful, Parker acknowledges Usyk's greatness, his footwork.
Usyk. I believe Usyk is a great fighter. Dubois is a changed fighter from his first fight. But then this is why we had the rematch, to see whether Dubois can overcome what he got stopped with a jab. And he did. A lot of people were also questioning the body shot. I think it was a low blow.
Me too.
And it was below the belt, but a lot of people were saying it was a legal shot. So this is going to determine, whether it was a fluke, that shot, or whether you.
His mind, his championship pedigree, but he also sees a new version of Dubois. He believes Dubois has changed since their first meeting, mentally tougher, physically sharper, and much more composed. According to Parker, Dubois is a different beast this time around. But Parker also revisits the controversy that still surrounds the outcome of their first fight. The infamous body shot. Some say it was legal, others insist it was low. The referee ruled it a low blow, giving Usyk time to recover, and the debate has never truly been settled. Was it a clean shot, a fluke, or simply a moment of confusion? Parker believes this rematch is the answer to all of that. If Dubois truly has evolved, he'll show it here. If not, Usyk will dominate once more, ending the debate for good. This rematch isn't just about titles or rankings. It's about redemption for Dubois and legacy for Usyk. The pressure on both men is enormous. Usyk wants to silence all lingering doubts. He's not just out to beat Dubois again. He wants to erase the controversy from the first fight and assert his dominance from the opening bell to the final round. This is about proving, once and for all, that he's the most complete fighter in the heavyweight division. Dubois, meanwhile, walks into this fight with a fire in his belly. This is personal. He's had to deal with criticism, with people questioning his heart, his toughness, his legitimacy as a contender. This is his moment to rewrite the story, to show that he's no quitter, no pretender. He's stepping in with a vengeance, and he knows that an early knockout would not just win him a belt, it would change his entire career. The boxing world is torn. Some are backing Usyk's slick skills. Others are betting on Dubois' raw power and redemption arc. But one thing's for sure. When the bell rings, there will be no place to hide. Someone's legacy will be built, and someone's will be broken. So now it's your turn. Who are you backing? Drop your take in the comments. This one's going to split fans right down the middle.